Welcome to the Dork Forest. Jackie and her pals will never bore us. Shameless confessions
about our obsession
will make us laugh and smile. So let's explore the Dork Forest and dork out for a while.
Hi, Rangers. It's me, Jackie Kashian. Welcome to the Dork Forest. It's 2024. Let's do this. Here's the credits, of course. Mike Ruekberg sang that song at the beginning, and he wrote that song, and he sang it with Sarah Cohen, his wife, and he will sing the Mexican hat dance at the end of the program. Also, Patrick Brady, still putting this together. Video, audio, all of it. He's amazing. So, and Vilmos doing JackieKashianStore.com. Squarespace is doing the regular Jackie Kashian page, and I'm thinking of moving the Dork Forest and dorkforest.com away from WordPress because it's driving me nuts. But those are the credits. But if you go to JackieKashian.com, you can get Dork Forest merch. You can get my stand-up merch. You can get my stand-up CDs and DVDs, which you'd have to have devices for those. You can also see videos and find out any number of things. I have another podcast called The Jackie and Laurie Show, but the Dork Forest is the flagship. 18th year. We're doing it, you guys. You can go to my Bandcamp or my YouTube for extra content. Please donate, is what I'm saying. It's 2024, and I think we've been in this long enough. Why don't you guys, everybody send me $100? That's what I'd like you to do. You can PayPal me. There's links all over the pages. You can Venmo me at Jackie Kashian. You can find me at a stand-up show and hand me a sweaty wad of 20s. Do something. But I love doing the show. I would love to make some money, is what I'd like to do. In other news, I'm sure there's more things that I should talk about, but I can't think of them. But let's listen to who's going to dork out about something, because that's my favorite part. Thanks for listening, you guys. You're all great. Let's get into the show. Rangers of the Dork Forest. It's me, Jackie Kashian. I am in a hotel room in Sunnyvale, California. Very glamorous. Doing the club there. And feel free to go to Jackie Kashian to find out if I'm doing stand-up near you, because I would like to fill rooms. In other news, we're doing an episode of the Dork Forest, you guys. And this woman opened for me at the Fort Collins, at the Comedy Fort in Fort Collins, Colorado. It's Gabby Gutierrez-Reed, which I could hear you typing, but she's a part of a team, a comedy team called Firecracker Comedy. They have a new album coming out this month, August 22nd, on Blonde Medicine. Great label, doing my new album with them. In November. But Gabby Gutierrez-Reed, her Instagram is at Shish Gabab, because it's Gabby. So it's Shish, S-H-I-S-H, Gabab, G-A-B-O-B. It'll be in the notes. And Firecracker Comedy is at Firecracker Comedy. So, Gabby, thank you very much for doing this show, and welcome.
Thank you for having me. This is awesome.
Super fun. And so here's my question. What are we going to talk about? I know you sent me a list, and let's start out with what I like to think of as just sort of the things we don't get to talk about so much on the Dork Forest that I don't know anything about, like roller skating. Are you talking inline skating or the four wheels?
The four wheels. Yeah.
And are you on the street or are you in a roller rink?
I learned how to roller skate in my mid-20s when it was for a roller derby. And then I eventually got into park skating, which is skating at the skate park, like going into the bowls and kind of doing that.
Oh, like fun. Like, because inline, the skating that's at the parks with those, there's a lot of grinding on the things, but the four wheel in the park, well, that's crazy. That's have you done inline skating?
I cannot do inline skating. I'm very afraid of that. I got into roller skating because I worked at a middle school, and one of the teachers was like, "Hey, want to try out for my roller derby team?" And I was like, I don't know. And she was like, "You'll be there." And so I showed up.
And you are relatively small. You are not a giant person. How did roller derby treat you? How long did you play roller derby? I've done a couple episodes about roller derby.
Oh, really? Yeah. It's It's not as violent as it used to be.
Okay.
Still violent. Don't worry.
There's pushing.
There's still pushing. There's shoulder movements, hip. You can hit people with your hips. You just can't deck them anymore with your arms and stuff like that.
I forget that you could just clock somebody with your. You can't punch them like boxing.
Yeah,
but you could get them with your forearm. You were okay. It was okay to
not anymore, but you used to.
Was it like a clothesline situation that you used to be able to do, or was it just my forearm is relatively substantial. I am going to clock you upside the head with it.
I think I might be wrong. That was what,
did you come in later after?
But yeah, they made rules so that people would get less hurt, but they're still getting hurt. Don't worry.
If you go see roller derby, there still might be some wipeouts and some people. Do people cry? Have you seen much crying?
Not usually. I mean, honestly, it's kind of so exhilarating and I think it's healthy.
Okay,
to
it's healthy
express
aggression.
Yourself in that way. Yeah, it's like, okay, a lot of guys get sports and they get to scream at the television and they get to, if you're not playing them, there's aggression around that. It's like, it's really cool that you get to, you're allowed to hit someone or be hit and get flown across the floor. And you're like, wow, adrenaline.
And then get up. Yeah. So there is a certain vibe to it that is adrenaline based.
Yeah, but I did watch somebody break their ankle in front of me, and she did cry.
Okay, and because I think that you should be able to cry, but roller derby doesn't lend itself to. Same with like football or other sports that are not coming to mind. That's a good one, right?
That's how I am. I don't watch sports
where you fall down. But like if you were surfing and you got hit in the head with a surfboard, which I guess can happen.
Yeah.
If you broke your jaw, or I think if you break something, you want to tear up a little bit.
I think you should be allowed to. And I like that you jumped to surfing and not like basketball, baseball. Those are normal. Like if you were paragliding, let's stick with these. If you were paragliding and you crashed into a cliff,
if you were at the mall and you did iFly and you fell, I think that's a
yeah.
Andy did it once, and his cousin, who actually does jump out of or used to jump out of airplanes. They both did iFly, and they were like, "Do you want to do it?" And I was like, "It doesn't really look. It looks like kind of a bouncy house kind of situation, and I'm good. I don't. It seems an expensive bouncy house situation.
I don't think I would like it.
I can't, and a little too public." My body image issues have got enough problems. I don't need to be in a clear plastic whoosh.
I agree with that. Like, I think it's a very personal moment, and they should have like private pods, like those sensory deprivation tanks.
Out? Yes. Yeah. I always think of those as sensory degradation tanks.
Degradation.
I actually, a friend of mine, she's done the show, Jenny Powell. She had an extra free deprivation float in a saline with, and my wedding band actually glows in the dark, and I forgot to take it off. So you're in the dark and it's saline, and I could just see my finger. And it's an hour. I lasted about 40 minutes.
That's
it turns
long.
out inside this head, busy. Do not want. I've never, and honestly, when I try to meditate, I fall asleep. So I didn't want to fall, and I don't think you can fall asleep. It was super salty, like it was saline.
Yeah, you're
so
like
it was buoyant.
Floating, right?
Yeah.
I think I would probably lose like myself. I can like disassociate from myself. It's like a really amazing skill since I've had, a child. Yeah, great. Great for growing up. But I think
right, nice defense mechanism. Well played.
I have all the defense mechanisms you can think of. I'm on that. And my body is so good at my body and mind is so good at protecting me.
You went into roller derby because what, you think I can't take a hit?
Yeah.
Anyway, so who were you to say I can't get punched? Anyway,
Yeah. Who do
so
you think I am?
exactly.
That tank would be scary, I think. I've never done it, and
Yeah, it's Rory Scovel was telling me how much he loved it, but he also loves golf. So I
yeah,
can't I don't want
which
to
is
golf
wrong.
either.
That's
Yeah,
wrong.
it's also kind of it's not for me. It's some people he loved it. He did an episode and I mostly asked him about the tiny claps. So because when they clap real tiny so that they don't break your concentration. They're like, that was a really good hit. That was an excellent hit.
A lot of
Anyway.
whispering.
There's some whispering color commentary. It does make me laugh.
He's so great. I've only met him once. I did a show with him in Denver because I think he's here now, maybe.
Yeah, he lives
But
there now, right?
yeah, and I had asked him about clowning afterwards because that's another thing I'm into. I was like, I'm kind of interested in so many things, but I went
Right.
to
Have
LA
you
to do
done
a workshop there, and it was so fun.
okay? So, like, here's all I know about clowning. Maria Bamford, for probably 2 years, dated a clown. And
That's
then
awesome.
and she went and lived with him in Adelaide in Australia for like a year. And he is a really relatively well-known Australian clown, name who I've forgotten his name. I just asked her not long ago. And probably 10 days ago when I was in London with an Australian comic and I said, "Do you know this clown?" And she did know that clown once I
God.
got the text back from Maria. I don't know his name. Anyway, he's from Adelaide. He's relatively famous. He's married. He has twins or something. So, but that was where she first learned about clowning. And clowning is more about tragedy, right? And about boundaries, is what she was telling me. I don't know.
I think
What do
it
you know
can
about
be.
clowning?
I think there are different classes, which I love Maria Bamford and her like style of. I mean, huge influence. You're a huge influence, but
Sure.
like I think
Hard
that
not to be, yeah.
it does show. It's very like it can. There are different types of clowning, and so I don't know the whole history and subcategories, but I think sadness
Sure.
can be one of them. And you're really pulling from a genuine place. You're. I love it because well, comedy is vulnerable, but it's like even peeling back more layers. I believe you're coming from an honest, vulnerable place not lying to the audience. Stand up is kind of more you're like putting on a show, or can be. Some people are incredibly vulnerable and they're really laying it out there. But clowning, I guess you're coming from a very vulnerable place. But then there's comedy coming out of that honesty and.
Is there? Okay. So it's
Mhm.
so the class that you took was sort of trying to get you in touch with how to sort of release that and let that help
Yeah,
you just sort of be honest on stage and be a and do they encourage they're like be a big weirdo. Do whatever you want.
yeah, yeah. You
Is it
can.
more physical or do they
I
talk about the
loved it.
physicality or no?
Yeah, because it was very physical in the sense that, like, some exercises you weren't allowed to talk. So it's like I'm a very physical comedian myself, a physical person,
Mhm.
and silly. And so that I was like, oh, this feels like home almost because this is very much me. And so, you know, you're trying to. This was like sort of comedy specific. You don't have to be funny when you're clowning, but
Okay.
it was very like, oh, I'm making a noise and I like am doubling down on this noise and I'm getting a laugh because you're like so confident in it and like this was the noise that I was feeling in this moment
Right.
right now.
Right. And then is it because I do think that what Rory Scovel does might be because he doubles down on silence and on repetition and on like I've never been comfortable with any of that. I can't I can't let there be silence.
But you're joke
I want there to
writing.
I have like, okay, well that story didn't work. Let me throw this noodle at the wall. And so I mean it's very much it's different, but I think I think everyone could benefit from learning all the different kinds of ways to perform, obviously. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
agree. It's so cool. Like, there's that physical, there's the repetitiveness, there's the wordsmithing. Like, you're so good at that. Like, coming up with a phrase that is just like unique. And so it's like, oh, somebody's going to remember that from the show. They're taking it to work and they're going
yep.
to be
You're
at the top
wandering
of the
around.
work.
Some guy last night was telling me that him and his wife were they constantly ask if every marriage anniversary is the bread anniversary, which is a joke that I did 14 years ago.
Oh my God. You're
And I'm like,
you need to let that go.
you could let that go. I wish my husband would let that go because he was the one who told me that our second anniversary was bread. And so every year on our anniversary, he's like, is it bread? And I'm like, again, it has been decades. So
that's like so yeah, it's funny when an audience member that always goes to a show or maybe somebody heard a joke, they bring it up and you're like, that took me back to a time in my life or I don't want to go to. Like it's like thank you for liking that. But how dare you?
Right, it depends how vulnerable it was, I guess. And right, because some of the stuff, there's a couple of jokes that I do that are sort of based in tragedy. And so if those are the ones that people remember, you're like, oh, I actually can't do that joke again right now. It takes too much emotion.
Yeah.
The emotional commitment for me to do my grandmother genocide bit. I was so glad to get it on an album so that I never had to do it again, right? Because it is funny and it is sweet and it is educational and it is moving.
Mhm.
But all of those emotions inside of me when I want to tell you about my car are very different. I got a new car joke I was going to tell you.
Yeah, you're like, let me just have a little fun. Okay.
Exactly.
Like,
I got
why don't
something
you go
lighter.
home, grab a glass of wine, and listen to that album?
That album's available. You knock yourselves out, kids. And it's the Hero album. There's no video. So you'd have to listen to it on one of those devices that plays the audio. Anyway, so you did roller derby. How long did you do it?
It was about 8 months, and then I decided to kind of take some classes for piano. So I was like, I don't want to break my fingers and not be able to do this. So
That's cool. Yeah. I like that
fun.
you're like, I took a clown class, I took piano lessons. How long were the piano lessons? How long did that last?
I did that for about probably almost a year. It was 2 semesters, and I sadly don't know how long that is in college time.
Right. Well, do you have a piano?
I do, yeah. I have a keyboard. I really like it. It has a lot of cool patches and like synth sounds, and I have written a couple comedy songs that I've recorded but didn't do much with it. Maybe it'd be fun to make a video someday, but I like to learn songs and I sing. I started singing before comedy. So that was like, I really wanted to be able to play piano eventually while singing at the same time, even if it was just mediocre.
Right. Even if whatever it was. And I love that you're like, no, I'm going to take a class and I'm going to last as long as I last. And well, now I'm going to take knife throwing or whatever.
I'm like very fleeting person. I'm like,
that is this podcast. I'm just like, Andy bought me a bow and arrow and I took literally like 2 archery classes and that was it.
That's awesome. You're like, that was
super fun.
Or maybe not.
Yeah, that was, yeah. And that was all that I did on that one. But the but so do you still roller skate at the skate park? Do you kind of do that for exercise or for funsies?
I haven't done that in a long time. I might go to like the roller rink every once in a while, but my life is kind of this amalgamation of like, remember that thing you got really into for like a year, and then something happened and pushed you in another direction, or like.
Right, but the thing is push came to shove. Like, you would be amazing in the zombie apocalypse if you had to have like several different mad skills that you needed, right?
Yeah, I do want to get into self-defense at some point, so that could come in handy.
Sure. As we go forth, it's not a bad idea. And but I will say that. So, can you roller skate backwards on the four wheels?
I can, and it was really scary at first, but I did get used to it, and I like backwards going downhill. I can't go downhill forwards because you can use the toe stop when you're going backwards. Like, people that hill bomb, they just go straight down a really big hill. I won't ever be into that.
Right. Do you ever like, as I watch the videos, I don't do it, but I watch the videos, you guys, where someone will make themselves tiny, like they'll kind of crouch, and bring their elbows in, and then they'll just go down a really tall. And I like the term hill bomb, and and you're like, well, what happens? I was riding my bike a couple of weeks ago because I got a bike for my birthday a couple of years ago, and riding a bike in Los Angeles is it can be scary. But by law, you are allowed to ride your bike on the sidewalk if there is not a bike lane.
That's how bad it is. That's
right. Well, right. Because the city of Los Angeles didn't want to put bike lanes everywhere. So, and in California, it is mandatory that there be bike lanes. So
People
Los Angeles got around it
when they're walking. Right. So, yeah, you should be able to.
Right. So. But because the sidewalks are not a priority in Los Angeles, as has been joked about in song and story, sometimes the sidewalks get really narrow and there's like a bougainvillea and then another hedgerow, and it becomes super tiny.
Yes.
And so I was riding my bike to Pilates, PT, and
Pilates rules.
Pilates does rule, and it got super narrow. And all of a sudden I felt myself, and I was so wobbly that I just fell over. But luckily I fell into hyacinth, and it smelled very nice.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I'm surrounded by flowers.
You're like, ow, no.
Don't. And but not prickers. So it was okay. It wasn't all pokey. And it was just nice. I was like, oh, look at these little white flowers. I think this is hyacinth.
Oh my God.
And then I got up and I wasn't killed. So
did you
the
make
good news,
make it to Pilates?
Made it to Pilates. My Pilates instructor impressed that I even biked. But the bike is it's half electric, like it's pedal assist.
Oh,
so
those rule. Okay, I like those.
Right. I just wish it was the seat's a little high. I have to lower the seat a little bit.
Yeah.
That's a really lame reason for me not to be riding it. But
I get that though, because it's like a little bit scary. It can make you fall easier, like that situation.
Because then I can't get my feet on the ground.
Yeah.
I wish the whole thing were shorter. Like, I've seen the pedal assist ones that look more like BMX size or a little bigger than that.
Yeah.
And I kind of wish that he had bought me that. But guess what? My mother-in-law and my husband pitched in and bought me a $1,700 bike. So shut up. How about that?
So true. You're like, God damn it, this gift is so nice.
It's so close to exactly what I wanted, and a fail. Anyway, but it isn't a fail. It's beautiful.
Maybe there should be like some kind of rule put in place that if you want to get a gift for someone that's over $100, $500, you can collaborate.
It's a collaborative would have been nice. It would have been really cool. But I think if I lower the seat, it'll be fine because it's got a basket, and basket's fun, and it's got a little bar on the way back, so I could strap things to it with bungee cords if I want. Like if I wanted to go to the grocery, and it's got a very, very heavy lock that I think I would have to wear a backpack if I wanted, because I put it. The reason I fell over is because the lock was in the basket.
Oh my God!
And it made it tippy. and that's why I tipped over because when going
Yes.
super slow, the lock is. It's a great story.
The
Rangers, are you
balance, the
loving it?
balance. I love it. I love this ET bike. I love this. You're gonna fly someday. You're gonna be. Ooh.
It's all going to work out. So, yeah. So now the other thing that you were talking about, let's talk about you again.
I love listening. I think that's yeah, I love listening to stories. My mom likes to I'm not comparing you to my mom, but she
Oh, you
talked so
can.
much growing up that I
Hmm.
think it was ingrained in me to just like love listening and be like
Yes. And it's a classic Dork Forest moment where I weed off into 9 stories, especially if people have like a variety of different things that they like you do. Did you know how to read music? Like that I just weed back to before you took piano lessons?
No, I mean, as a kid, I could do like actually, I lose these skills a lot because I'm not practicing them. So, like, I would not be
Okay.
able to read a song without brushing up on everything again, and then I could
Yeah.
probably get into it. It's like riding a bike, but
Yeah, yeah.
I knew some stuff growing up, but I kind of just go into things being like, I'm pretty sure that everyone looks stupid when they try something, and you
Entirely.
get over
Yes.
that, and then you get better, and then there's the beginner's luck learning curve of I'm getting so good at this so fast, and then you plateau because you're like, this is kind of hard, and I really respect that expert. I really respect that, comedian that's been doing this for 20 years.
Right,
They
right.
really push through that
Yeah, the
hard
people who
time.
know how to play piano, they push through that hard part where they learned how to both read and work the pedals and the fingers. Come on.
Yeah.
And
And that's
but
like
I
when you push through that period of time and you like do pick something, you're like, this is who I am, and I will be lost without it now.
right, right, right. So when you went to piano class, did whoever the teacher was, did they have to teach you how to read music?
Yeah, his name, I don't know why I'm like Joshua Sawiki because he likes comedy.
Oh, good. All right,
So it's
Joshua.
funny because he came to like one of my friends' comedy shows, and he was like, "Hey," and I was like, "Oh my god!" But he plays piano with the Denver Orchestra or Symphony a lot,
Oh,
and
wow.
he taught me how to read. Because I took some college courses because I was using it with scholarship, so I like took a actual like classes where I got graded, and he
Oh,
was
nice.
awesome and very encouraging, and but it was more on the classical side with his lessons.
Right, because I have we have the California community college system is, I guess, incredible. And I've always wanted to take classes over there. Anna Valenzuela did an episode here on
Oh,
about community college and how she would occasionally take a community college course because she just wanted to use the gym
oh
at the community
yeah,
college.
I think
It was
yeah, she's really nice. She's really cool and funny.
She is really nice, and she's been working the road more, and she's her stand up is very good. She features for me sometimes on the road, and it's been really great watching her grow as a comic too. It's been really cool. So and she does self defense. She does some sort of fight karate or jujitsu
Jiu-jitsu
or
maybe.
don't know.
What is it
Don't
called? The Brazilian dance fighting.
She might do that. We don't know. I saw Jumanji. I know that it's possible. Uh, so, but have you ever taken breakdancing? Because that was another one that I love breakdancing. I've never breakdanced, but I would love to be able to breakdance.
Yeah, I what happened? Because I'm always like, why did I do that? I have to
Yeah, yeah.
remember.
Why did that come up?
I think I um wanted to get back into dancing. I was feeling probably I think stuck in my body. I think kind of like where I was in comedy pushed me towards doing something where you're not like thinking so much about it. You're just like forced to be in the moment because you're learning
Okay.
this thing and you're focusing so hard that you're actually
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like, oh, I'm having fun at this point because I'm so involved in this. And so I wanted to take house dance classes, which, if you don't know what house dancing is,
I don't.
I'm gonna mess up explaining this. I always get worried about being like, I don't want to explain this culture incorrectly, but I really
Give it a
liked
shot.
it.
It's okay.
Yeah, in high school, my brother was into it, and house came out of like Chicago and New York. I'm not sure which one first, but it's a very cool culture of like a mix of a lot of dances. Because the club culture was like you go out, you learn how to dance from people, and
Yeah.
that's like so cool because you're connecting in real time. So this like separate kind of dance came out of it, and so I wanted to take that class, but I couldn't because of timing. And so I was like, I've always thought breakdancing looks really cool. And I bet there's an awesome culture behind that too. So I signed up for that and I tried it once and I was kind of hooked. Because it's so like
Right.
you're on the floor. I love
Do
that.
you start on the floor?
No, you start with a top rock, which is like, or
Or
generally,
just
like you could start on the floor if you're like kind of in a circle. Um, but like you can do either. Top rock, you're standing. Down rock is on the floor, and then there's like power moves, which are I can't do those. And I was like so intimidated because I was like, that's what you have to do when you break dance. Like, am I going to do that? But that's not what
right.
you have to do.
You don't have to do that. You could just normal. You could just normal breakdance. You don't have to crazy power. I mean, you
Yeah,
don't have to you don't have to compete. Like I watch the
actually, you
competitions.
do. No, I'm just kidding.
It's a rule. You have to all of a sudden you have to become some sort of street dancer, and then whoever wins gets the most dollars. So top rock is literally, is that using the top part of your body?
It's just you're upright standing, and then there's like different steps that you can kind of assemble together for like a
Oh,
routine,
for
or I can't
a
think of another
routine or a
word.
flow?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a flow is a better word because I guess some people like when competing, you're like maybe practicing a routine, but it is really about like being in the moment, even when you're competing, and you're in that cipher, the like circle that is
Is it
around.
called a cipher?
Yeah, I believe so.
Like
And
what are all the words? Like because
some
I
of
just watch it. Yeah.
I don't know all of them, but
No,
cipher is
no. But
one where
which
it's
ones do
like,
you remember? Yeah.
yeah, let's see. Well, top rock and down rock.
Yep.
There's baby something is like one of the moves. Flare,
Is
like
it where you're on your
flare.
back, rocking back and forth while you're holding your knees?
You're just like, I can do this. I can do this. What is a flare is like when your like body goes out. That's really cool. I like
Okay.
turtle is when you like jab your elbows into your stomach and you're kind of like holding your body up like this on the ground, like you're parallel with the ground, and so you're
Oh, right, right,
that's
right.
like something that can turn into something else. And then there's head spins and back spins. I've not done a head spin. I've done a back spin. Those are fun. Um,
Okay.
Freezes where you're like, you have that moment where you're like, ah.
The pause. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like very tied to music, which is so cool because you have that drop in the song and then like, oh, perfect moment for the freeze, and then you go back into the flow, and it's all about being in the moment with the music. I mean, that's what every art form is about, and that's so
Is
cool.
being in that moment. But with the music, you have to learn how to listen, right?
Yeah, that is
And
like a skill that you're like, I
that's
know
got
how
to
to
be a
listen,
learned
but
skill. And especially if you don't know all of the music in the whole wide world. And then all of a sudden they just play a song and you're like, oh, this has some really cool beats and it's got some nice pauses and it has, an instrumental flow right here. And you have to sort of be able to put those two things together with your body and the music. Did
yeah,
you can they teach that?
I think it can be taught in the sense of like it's okay to let go. Like,
Yeah.
don't think about, and I need to take this advice at so many times in my life we can all take that. Like, don't take yourself so seriously. It's okay to let go. You're still going to be loved if you don't
Yes.
land this move right. Okay. You're not going to
Right.
lose all of your friends because you went to a dance class. None of them are there and you didn't get the footwork. Like,
Have you ended up meeting like people that you've bonded with outside of these classes since you're taking so many classes? Like, do you still
yeah.
hang with some different people just because you're like, that's my roller derby friend, that's my piano, teacher, and
Yeah.
that's
It's
really cool.
cool. It's not, I don't have like,
Tons of them, but
so
yeah, just
yeah, but there's like, one person I connected with and still talk to, or like because of social media and Instagram, it's cool that you're like, oh my God, Verda from roller derby, like she's living
right,
her
right.
life.
Yeah, now you get a glimpse into the rest of their life, and it's been
Mhm.
curated for Instagram, but so be it. And
Yeah. Right. Yeah. You're like, man,
that's
that's
probably not
different.
true. You look good. You look like it's a little too happy. But everybody's plugging along, so we're
Yeah.
all doing the best we can. um yeah, I love the idea. Did you watch the breakdancing at the Olympics?
I watched some of it and then I obviously saw the Australian dancer.
Yeah, I accidentally saw that. That was too bad. But because I watched all of it because I love it so. And I was like, well, she isn't very
Yeah.
good, but this is a very new competition, a new international competition. So I
Yeah.
didn't bust her chops that bad. I mean, I was like,
I think
I'm sure
that
there were better people, and she got in because of possibly some cronyism or nepotism or
yeah, maybe, and I think that she's had better, like
right. She's
she
had
like
better
if
days.
yeah, like I think I was like, okay, who actually is this person? And there is another video of her online, and she does look better. And who knows what happens in that moment when you're I don't know how long she'd been dancing, and when you're
Right.
on a world stage where your
Sometimes you choke,
brain
and guess
is.
what? No sweat. I always, but my thing is, whenever I go on TV, I'm like, don't choke. Try not to choke, Jackie. And
Right.
that would
It's
be ideal. And but then I also try to remind myself, if you do choke, they'll probably fix it in post. Like if it,
That's a good
especially
thing to
stand up.
remember. It's all in the edit. It's
It's right, especially with stand up. If it's so bad, they're not going to air it.
true.
If it
Oh, you
goes,
get the
yeah.
call. Okay. I'm
You're
actually
pulling
really
it?
relieved.
Yes, genuinely relieved. Thank you so much. Any chance you'll give me another shot? Probably not. No worries. No worries. I'll just keep doing it at small venues. It'll be fine.
Which sometimes are the most fun. Actually, a lot of times you're like, I'm in
Yeah.
this tiny basement, there's 20 people in front of me, and they all love it.
They all love it. They're on board. Last night, there was probably like the room that I'm playing in Sunnyvale, California, Rooster Teeth Feathers. It only seats like $1.40.
Okay,
So,
nice.
so Thursday's show, and she does a weird thing. And in the summer, I don't know, we had to cancel the Sunday because nobody came. There were a couple of people who bought tickets, and that's it. And I got an email from
Sunday.
them going, I can't come to the Saturday. And I'm like, I am sorry. But she usually does like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, one show a night. And in the summer, it might be better to just do a Friday, Saturday, and then do two shows one of those two nights.
Yeah.
I think it might be better, but
The
turns
philosophy,
out
it's
I don't own the
interesting.
club. Yeah.
Right. And then that's the club owner. And like I feel like it's funny there's preferences of club owners or venues and then performance preferences. Like I know some people that love to do two shows in a night and they're like
Hmm.
that first one was a warm up, not a warm up, but it could be amazing and great. That second one, love it because I'm like rolling with it. And then some people are like, I want to do one. The magic is in one.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what I like. But that's not the
Yeah.
club like setup, it's like interesting to hear different
Right.
perspectives.
Right. It can be anything. And you're just like, I'll do however, there were clubs that yeah, late 90s, maybe early 2000s, we're doing 3 shows on a Saturday. And you're like, nobody wants this. I can't remember what jokes I've done by the 11 o'clock show that ends at 12:30. You know,
Have you
you're
had a
like,
moment where you're like, did I tell that joke in
oh
this
my gosh, so many times.
hour?
So many times, especially usually at a 3-show night,
Yeah.
and at the stand in New York, you end up doing 4 or 5 sets a night, and
Right.
you just keep going up and down the stairs, and you're doing 15-minute sets. And the first time I did it, I tried to do different sets just so I could work on different parts of my act. And then Lori Kilmartin said, oh no, you will fumble if you try to do you have to do the same 15 if you're doing
For
4 or
sure.
5 sets a night, because then you just go up, you work on what you're working on, and then you don't, but I will say the fourth time you do that 15-minute set, you're like, I don't know that I enjoy these jokes anymore.
Yeah,
And
it's so weird that way because there's the balance of like, dang, I'm really working this joke out and it feels good. And like, yes, I got a new tag for that. But then you do it over and over again and you're like,
right.
what am I doing?
And it does make you more sympathetic to something like at the Olympics when that woman did not do well. And you're just like, okay, who's next? Because the Olympics is
Yeah.
great because there's going to be 30 more people coming up and doing stuff.
Right.
And so I
watched
all of it, and I was so sad because I did buy the Olympic package for streaming, and 2 weeks after the Olympics, they took everything down. And I was like, no, I would like to revisit the cool things I saw in the Olympics.
Weird.
And I suppose they're probably on YouTube, maybe. But
not every moment.
what I ended up, not at the moment. And I have to say that the Paralympics happened right after that. And they also had breakdancing in the Paralympics. And there was a group, sort of like Firecracker Comedy. By the way, I'm talking with Gabby Gutierrez-Reed, or I'm talking at Gabby Gutierrez-Reed is what's really happening. I'm not really letting her talk much.
I love the plug. I love the
yeah, what the heck? It's at Shish Kebab, Gabab. Too funny. I will always love that. And did you end up watching any of the disabled? The Paralympics?
No, I missed that, but that sounds really freaking cool.
Yeah. And there's a group that didn't perform, but they did the intro, like they performed at the opening ceremonies of the Paralympics. And there's a guy with one leg who is out of hand. He is so good. They're all really good. And like one guy has crutches and he uses the crutches in the dance.
That's so cool.
Right. And then there's a guy who has no legs and he does all floor stuff, obviously, but it's extraordinary, right? His upper body is so strong.
That's so inspirational because you're like, oh, I'm going through something hard. Like I can push through this. And like that person is the person to tell me that by them living their freaking life. Right. And being badass.
Just being a badass at what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
It is, yeah. So, yep. So how long was the breakdancing class?
The class itself was 2 semesters. No. That's how long I do everything. That's how I break up time. 2 semesters length. It's like what is it? It's like a fortnight. I did that for really recently. And then I kind of like had some stuff happen with my body. So I'm taking a break, but I'd really like to go back to breakdancing because the people are amazing. The community. Okay. I actually got to do this really cool night at the Denver Art Museum where like I set up comedy and like was a featured artist, but also they let me plan a whole night of entertainment with an artist that became a really good friend of mine. And because I did breakdancing, I was like, you know what? I know some people that are really freaking good at dancing, and it'd be cool if they did it inside of this art museum. So
right.
Like,
so you booked a couple of people from that you had met in class. or through the
Yeah,
class?
the owner
Yeah.
of the studio, and he got a group together, and there's some really great dancers. One of them is like super young, like he's a teenager, and then
Mm-hmm.
got one of the other dance teachers of the house dance class to do something, and then it all ended in dancing. Like the whole night ended in like a dance party because I was like, who doesn't want a dance party after taking some art
Yes.
in
Oh my gosh, that
all
sounds
night?
actually extraordinary. That sounds
Yeah,
wonderful.
yeah.
What is house dancing? Did it start because people had it at their houses? What's happening? I don't know a
would
lot about house dancing
actually, dang, I don't know the why it's called house dancing, but there's an
or house
amazing,
music. Yep.
yeah, house music. Maybe I don't know. I'm always like I could be wrong, and I'll always admit it when I am. But
Right, but
um,
yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
there's a great documentary called Paris is Burning,
Okay.
and it's so good. I recommend it no matter who you are. Like it definitely will
Like
just
even if
open
you're not
your,
into it, yeah.
yeah, like open your mind to the culture, but also the like ballroom dance culture, like the voguing that came very much from the queer community, people of color, like all of that stemmed from there. And like Madonna will say, like, I owe voguing, like she made voguing huge, but like she owes that to where she saw it and learned that from, which is from like ballroom culture. So,
Okay.
and I think she said that in an interview. And it's the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
with like Beyonce's album that came out that was very much more house, or like it was a little more house influence. I think she had like thanked her maybe uncle for like, getting her into that and thanked like the house culture and um, everyone
What
that
is the
like
house culture?
created
What
that.
am I like music clearly is my life. But what is what is house music as opposed to rap, as opposed to R&B, as opposed to just dance music? Is it something like has it got a good beat? The kids can dance to it? What's happening? Is there guitar rock? What is
It's
it?
very like more, it's like becoming popular again, which is very cool. Like there's a newer, not super new, but newer artist called Channel Trey, and that's like very house influenced.
Okay.
But like older house, oh my god, this is a moment where I'm like I'm on the spot. I'm forgetting every single musician that I like right now. But Black Coffee is a great house musician,
Black
I
coffee.
believe. Yeah,
Okay.
I know I love like his music a lot. But there's like house from the 80s and 90s that it's just like you hear the song and you're like, yeah, we know that song, and it is the best song in the world. Like we hear like
Okay.
all these songs that
Is
you've
it got
heard.
lyrics? Is it
Yeah,
usually
sometimes, but it's a lot like
like
instrumental, and then a lot of times it'll be like sound bites, or they had like some singer come in that nobody knows the name of, but they're so talented. Like they're a session singer or something,
yeah.
and they just sing like really cool vocals over
All right.
top. Yeah.
Okay. And then it turns into something instrumental and then everybody just
And then everyone
dances.
dances. Yeah.
And so if you had gotten to take the house dancing class, is that
It's
what
like,
are they teaching? Like are they teaching you different moves?
yeah, so it's a lot of footwork, which is really cool, and then you're kind of trying to like get your body to be loose with that because a lot of
Okay.
times you're trying to do different things with your body at the same time. Your chest might be doing something different than your feet are doing, and
Huh.
you're kind of syncopating with the rhythm of the music. So there's like a pas de bourrée is a basic dance step, and
Okay.
I wish I could show you, but you could look it up. And
Sure.
also,
How do you
I
spell
recommend.
that?
I don't even know how to spell that. I'm like, I
Pas
could
de
look it up.
beret?
You'll hear
Like
me
the hat beret, Beret,
possibly
and
pata.
pata,
It's like pata, like a
Pada?
pot of honey, and then
Okay.
no, it's
Okay.
a how do you? Oh, pas de beret. It's PASDE, like, and then
Oh, in French.
BOURREE. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Um,
So not a beret. in French.
Not a beret. It's a pas
Not
de
a
beret.
Yeah, it's a pas de beret.
But
And
some of
that's
it
a
comes from
move.
like there's like ballet type stuff, but yeah, just really cool footwork. You know, you might be like turning this foot that way and like your heel this way, and then you're kind of like I don't know, yeah, how to
Yeah.
describe it without like visually showing, but
Did you take dance when you were a kid?
I actually did. So I guess I did ballet maybe when I was like 3, but my mom actually taught ballet folklorico, which is a traditional Mexican dance, and so I did that from the age of like 4 or 5 until 18, and
Oh wow.
yeah,
What
so
what is that called? Again, slowly.
ballet. Sorry.
Yes, for your crazy Armenian Irish friend over here. Let's
Ballet, and that
Mhm.
is spelled like the word ballet, and then folklorico,
Ballet I got.
and then like BAL. I just started this job where I just started a job where I'm like at customer service, like on the headset, and I'm like, I really hope people freaking speak so slow. Like when I'm calling into the doctor's office and they're like, confirm your date of birth and address. I'm like, 10, 13.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Slow roll so that people
yeah,
can write stuff down or they can type it or they can
yeah.
Yes.
When people
Okay.
are like 10, 13, 1993, 601, like their whole address, and you're like,
Stop.
oh my God.
Right.
But folklorico, it's like folklore and then Rico.
Okay.
It's flavorful folklore. No, I'm just kidding. That's not. But I think Rico is flavor in Spanish. But
But it's because I have done an episode with I don't know if you know Solange Castro. She's a comic,
yeah, it sounds
and
really familiar.
she is actually she went to Yale and she is teaching a comedy course this semester at Yale for the summer semester.
What?
Yeah, isn't that
That's so
hilarious?
cool.
But she salsa dances,
I
and
love that.
she did a salsa episode of the Dork Forest, which is quite fascinating. Where I asked her if she ever ended up dating any of the guys she danced with, and she said absolutely not. And
It's hard. I mean, yeah, to separate like any professional relationship, it's like
right, you're just like, no, I just want to dance with you for 4.5 hours. I don't actually want to talk to you.
right.
Is
I
what
think
it
I
ended up
dated.
being the result of that. It was interesting.
Yeah, I think I've dated one comedian, and we're still very much friends and like very close, and had a project together that's still going on. And it's like,
Oh, good.
to casually date someone that I'm around all the time would be so hard for me. And I think some people are very good at doing that, and some people it's like,
Don't do it. Yeah. It is a lot. It's yeah. I dated one comic and it was dumb. And then
We all
he's
have
an
one.
incredibly nice man, and we are still friends. And 45 years later. So
I love that. But
but
yeah.
yeah.
No, you go. I want to know more about.
So what kind of dancing is the Rico dancing? Is the folklore Rico? Yes.
I want to call it folk Rico now. With you.
Folk Rico. I want to hear more about folk Rico. Are you wearing a fancy? Are you wearing a cool Mexican flowy dress? Skirt?
Yes. And my mom would actually sew the ribbons on the skirt. Like she put a lot of work into this, and it's beautiful. It's huge. It's designed to be like you do a lot of spinning and flicking your wrists so that
exactly.
it's like
It looks and it's all wavy and awesome. Yeah,
and it's cool. There's I don't know if I'll remember like the name of the song tied to the dance, but like each song has like rich history behind it, and the dance itself is to like put you into that story, which is so cool and beautiful. Like there's nails on the bottom of the shoes, and they're kind of like tap dance shoes, but like with a heel.
Yeah,
and they like so like sometimes the tapping of the footwork is to resemble like a train that is like, oh, this train went by, and like that's to remind you of like the chugging of the train, or like I think
Yeah.
that Chino Poblana is like about a princess and like a man, and there's this. That's all of the story I'm gonna say. I don't
Well,
know,
right. But for 15 years you danced.
yeah, and
At
that's like this beautiful dress tied to it with an eagle and a snake, and I think that's the what is that on the flag? I don't know what flag
okay.
that might be on, but yeah, I'm always like, am
I
I
want a flag
butchering
with an
this?
eagle and a snake on it. What are you out of your mind? We got stars and bars. What's that doing for me?
Right? This is
Anyway,
like forcing me to be like, go back to your roots and relearn all of this
but
because
it
it's
made
really
you want to
cool.
take other dance classes where you're just like,
Mhm.
because I know that at, like the Armenian picnic, there's a lot of dancing, and it's mostly just line dancing, right? And
Yeah, okay,
to
I
my
can
knowledge,
imagine it.
I'm sure there's more elaborate Armenian dances where there's stories and there's things that are happening, and I know there's outfits. I didn't do any of that. I did just basic, sort of kick line dancing where you're all hooked up by pinkies and you're kind of wandering around and somebody's playing
Yes.
a fancy guitar. So,
Yeah.
yeah, but I like that, like you growing up with that Mexican dancing made you want to take house dancing, made you want to take break dancing, made you want to. Did you ever take ballroom dancing?
No, but I totally would.
I
Basically, I'm
would.
like down for everything and anything.
You were like, let me take a class, please.
Yeah, I'm like, let's do it. I want to look dumb and then get better at
Right,
it.
exactly. I mean, and that's people are always like, well, I'm going to look dumb. And you're like, well, that's why you're taking the class. You go in without any information and then you are
Yeah.
given information. And I had this job, this admin job that my sister got me when I was probably 22 or 23. And her boss, it was a mailing list. I had to do a mailing for this nonprofit that my sister worked for, and her boss was the
Yeah.
development director, and I was just the grunt. I was like, yeah, I'll go make tuna fish sandwiches and I'll do whatever you want. And so she was like, here's how the mailing list goes, and please will you do it this way? And I was like, okay. And I took some notes, and she was like, do you think you understand it? I said, probably. But I will probably have to come to you 2 more times to make sure that I'm doing it exactly how you would like them done. And she was like, I'm more than willing to have that happen. That sounds great. Because I mean, I don't have a horse in that race, right? I mean, I'm not the sous chef who wants to put my own spin on how the carrots are cut.
Right.
I am willing to cut the carrots exactly how you wanted the carrots cut because you are the chef, right?
Yeah.
So,
I'll
yeah.
ask
So,
someone over and over until I get it. Like,
right,
especially for a job, I'm like, I don't want to mess it up and make it harder for you. You have to fix it if I mess it
right.
up. So,
I don't get any of my self esteem from this weird admin job.
yeah,
So let me just do it how you want to do it. Then you won't yell at me, and then I won't have to do it again, right? I won't have to
exactly.
fix it. So,
So
but
many
with stand up,
things.
I'm kind of married to how I want to do it. And that's different, right? Because it's if you do have that commitment to, well, I'm good at this, or I want to be the one, then you're like, no, I'm not asking for any help. Thank you very much. Um
Yeah. And there's like
of,
your own integrity behind it, your own voice, your own identity. You're like, I have to properly represent myself, even if some people don't like it and some people
yes,
love it. That's like, you
that's the
want to
win.
stay true to that.
A very nice couple came up to me last night and they were like, "You are so good. We had such a great time. When is your new special and album coming out?" And I said, "Well, I'm going to film and record in November, and then it'll come out probably a month and a half later." And they were like, "Well, where will it show?" And I said, "Well, probably YouTube." And they both got this disappointed look on their face. And they were like, "Why YouTube? Why aren't you on Netflix?" And I'm like, "Well, I mean, obviously I'm available were Netflix to want to purchase, pay for it or do whatever, but I can't make it."
Yeah, they're
And
like,
they all of a sudden the advice rolled out where they were like, "Well, you should do this." And I was like, all right.
no.
I can't make anyone care, and I'm not going to be, I got to just do the comedy. You do the comedy you write.
It's very
So-
human to want to fix, and it's not even a problem. I'm not saying to fix a problem. It's very
Yes.
like people may see something that's not a problem as a problem, which is so interesting. Our human nature to be like, I need to fix something, and that's why we destroy our relationships every single day. Because it's like, I need to fix, and also the unsolicited advice. Like, I think if somebody is literally going through the exact same thing that you are going through, you could give unsolicited advice probably because, hey, you've been through it or you're going through
Right.
it together. But
Right.
when it's so different, it's like wild when someone's like, you
Right.
know what you should do?
Yeah, and I'm like, I've hired the PR, I've hired the social media, I've tried a couple of different things. Some of it works. I seem to be acquiring about 19 new fans a month. That's not bad, but it's a slow burn. It's a slow
That's
slow
what
build.
I mean. Like, they're at your show. They're not. I don't. It's really wild. Like, you're a famous person. Like, they're talking to a famous person, and then they're being like, but you're not famous enough.
It's not
Like,
enough.
yeah.
And I was like, I'm as famous as I guess is going to happen right now. I can't. I'm as successful
Yeah.
as I'm going to be right now, and hopefully, I mean, what I was told when I first started doing stand up is that if you can consistently make a room full of people laugh, there will always be work for you.
Yep.
So don't sweat it and don't try to rush it, because if you I mean, when I think about the guys, the dum-dum guys who wanted it to be bigger, so they sold out they didn't, I'm willing to sell out, but I'm not willing to sell out my integrity, right?
Or about.
Like, I don't want, yeah.
Maybe they inherit the values of people that they like will follow them eventually. But then you're like, okay, well, you have exited reality.
Right. Like, the only punishment a guy like Louis C.K. or any of these dum-dums have is their fan base. That is the only punishment. Because when you think about C.K., he had the greatest fans.
Yeah.
It was me.
And still does. It
right?
still does. Like, people that don't like know about those things, or it's like, technically that's not your job. You're not in the comedy community to stop.
Right, but if you go
listening
to
to
see
this
Louis
person.
C.K. and you hear the jokes that he's doing,
Mhm.
you're like, he's playing to that lowest denominator again.
Yeah.
And you're going to lose those fans. You're going to lose the ones that like things that are that vulnerable, that are that interesting, that are like your clowning thing,
Yeah, exactly. It's
And
like,
I
it's
love that.
a wild art form. But it's like you evolve as a person, so you want to evolve with your stand-up, and then you're like trying to evolve with the times. But at what point do those become disconnected? Or like,
Right. If you abandon them, they can become disconnected. If you stay true to, like, well, how you want to grow as a person, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe you, like, if you don't want to become a better person, if you want to become a worse person, you could write to that. And that feels negative. I wouldn't encourage that at all.
Yeah.
I love your attitude through this. I love that, you're just like, I want to try different things, and you stay with them until you can't, for whatever reason, or you don't, or you're done.
Yeah.
And then you try something else, or you go back to the thing, and then you have all of the skills that are available when the zombie apocalypse happens.
When the zombie apocalypse, because it's gonna happen.
You will have roller skating. There'll be some break dancing. You'll have stand up. You'll have singing. You'll have piano. You will be the bard that we need.
I will be. Yeah, I'll be the ship's entertainer. Thank you.
All right, Gabby Gutierrez-Reed is who we've talked to. It's been an hour, by the way. I've talked for a lot of it, but I really enjoyed talking to you.
Me too.
Stand-up comic, Denver comic. You guys go see her. It's at Shish Kebab. Hilarious. It will be in the notes. GABAB. Shish kebab. And the new album comes out August 22nd on Blonde Medicine. Firecracker Comedy is the trio. And it's at Firecracker Comedy on Instagram if you want to know more about all three of them. The next episode is with is another person from Firecracker Comedy. I'm going to do one with Salma.
Salma Zaki.
Yay!
She is the best.
Thank you so much for doing the show. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And Rangers, you know the rules out there. Take care of each other.
My hat, my hat, my hat. They're dancing around my hat. My hat, my hat, my hat. Well, what do you think of that? If it looks like a Mexican hat dance and it sounds like a Mexican hat dance, it's most likely a Mexican hat dance. So take off your hat and let's dance.
Yay! Oh my God. Why don't we just call that as the end of the show?